Hi, welcome to Bible Lab Teaching Ministry. In this teaching with Adrian Tamblin-Watts, we are looking at the necessity for God's authority to underpin our ministry expression, whatever that may be. It is vital that we understand and accept that capability does not equate to authority. In other words, just because we can does not mean that we should. If you have any questions or would like to get in contact with us, please leave us a message in the comments section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to help us spread the word of God.
Hello again, it's good to be with you. The Sermon on the Mount, as recorded by Matthew, has always been a source of fascination for me. As far as I'm concerned, it represents the very constitution of the kingdom of God. It lays down the ethics of living in tandem, in partnership, in submission to the Father. This sermon had great authority, like everything else that Jesus ever said. And that term authority we can pick up in the last two verses of the Sermon on the Mount. Let's just take a look. When Jesus had finished these words, the crowds were amazed at his teaching, for he was teaching them as one having authority and not as the scribes. Now, the word authority here is absolutely vital to our understanding of all that is taking place throughout everything that Jesus is recorded to have said in the Gospels. The word authority here means to have permission, to have authority, right, liberty, the power to do anything. To have authority, to be given permission to do something. That authority and that permission that flowed from the Father meant there was no hindrance in the way of Jesus delivering the truth that he'd been called to deliver. You and I, as little Christs and as able ministers of the new covenant, we too have to seek our Father's authority, our Father's permission, in order to do or say anything that will have kingdom value. That's important to remember. It's Jesus' relationship to his Father that is key here. Remember, Jesus said he never said or did anything he didn't see his Father saying or doing. And this is a principle that we need to watch out for in our own lives, particularly those who are full-time in the ministry, those who rely on the ministry, as it were, for income. It is often there where we go, well, I've got to preach something, otherwise I will not be deserving of my pay. So I need to come up with something. This places us in incredible danger, that we're merely getting up and speaking and lecturing because we have the capability to do so, but we do not necessarily have the authority to do so. It's on this point that we need to remember that God is Jehovah Jireh. He is our provider. Not the ministry that employs us, not the ministry that we have started and people contribute to. God, our Father, is our provider. He does not provide our needs based on our performance. He provides our needs based on who he is, and that's worth remembering. But let's get back to our principal subject here today. Why did Jesus' words have authority? Well, he obviously had the capability. He had the call on his life. But all of those things were linked to the authority that God the Father was saying, now is the time to say this. Now is the time to say that. A very good friend of mine always talks about the ministry being about Yahweh and Son, almost like the family business. And I think he's onto something there. The Father and the Son, Jesus Christ, the family business was bringing you and I into the kingdom, bringing us back into relationship with God. That was the family business and remains the family business. And we've been brought into the family business. So it is now Yahweh and Sons. And that includes all of our sisters as well. because sonship in the New Testament has nothing to do with gender. It has everything to do with office and function. Another principle worth remembering. So what's at stake here? Well, let's put it this way. Capability does not equal authority. I am capable of preaching. I'm capable of teaching. I'm capable of lecturing. But if I do not have the authority to do those things, I am merely speaking out of my flesh. I'm speaking out of my natural man and have no connection to the throne room of God. Every time Jesus opened his mouth, his relationship to his Father gave him the authority that backed up his capability. Listen to what Eugene Peterson says in his paraphrase, The Message. When Jesus concluded his address, the crowd burst into applause. They had never heard teaching like this. It was apparent that he was living everything he was saying, quite a contrast to their religion teachers. This was the best teaching they had ever heard. Peterson here brings out an aspect of authority, which was Jesus was living everything he was saying. Our authority is founded in the fact that the Father has told us to do something. But for that authority to carry weight, I have to be living what I'm saying. My life must match my words. And in Jesus, that was always the case. Hear that again. Capability does not equal authority. Capability, allied to God saying, now, is the necessary authority for our teaching, our ministry, our words, to bring eternal change in the lives of those who hear us. I trust this is of some encouragement today. If it is a correction, then I pray that you and I would be able to receive it with good grace and be able to grow through it. But I appeal to everyone today that we would revise what we do and the reason why we do it. We don't preach out of need. We do not minister out of need. We minister to meet need. We minister because our needs are met because of who God is, not because of what we do. Let us bear that in mind moving forward. And let that also be maybe a guard at the gate when we listen to others preaching and teaching in the future. That this may give us another edge, another dimension to our discernment, whether a word is in season or not. God bless you.